Hey y'all, I'm Trap from Trap Tape Plays. Was that too soon, Mikey?
No, I'm just not talking.
Okay, so you're just doing a bit. Okay.
I'm always doing a bit. My whole life's a giant bit. I'm a fucking living meme.
True. Well, today we got a very special guest, TrueStorySeamus, super famous Twitch streamer. Why don't you tell our audience a little about yourself, Seamus, and
Well,
your...
first off, I've got to give you props for pronouncing my name right. A lot of people don't actually tend to do that on a lot of platforms. You'd be very surprised. And two, famous is a little bit of a stretch. I mean, I did just pass 1,000 followers after streaming for, what, 5, 6 years? So call me famous is a little bit of a stretch, but I appreciate the compliment nonetheless.
Hey, that's an accomplishment, okay?
That's
And I know
okay.
you've been doing
I
a
called
lot.
him Seamus the other day, so
I used to call him that too. He had to correct me. I guess we Americans just read it as Seamus, but it's pronounced Seamus, and I
well,
know
it
now.
makes
And
sense to be pronounced as Seamus, but
it
America.
does. America, though.
I just think it's
But-
harder for someone to type down the accent on the E because you have to like do some kind of special combination. So it's just easier to type out.
Oh, there's so there's supposed to be like an accent over
Is
it.
it the yet
Like-
or is it the dots?
It's slash above the letter.
Ah, you got the yet
Ah.
over the e.
Kinda, I
Okay.
guess you could say.
I don't know what they call it.
I don't know what to call it. I just call it a yet.
So I know, like I think we can all agree we all love Kingdom Hearts.
I think love
Mikey?
might be a bit of an understatement in my case, but yes.
Understatement. Okay.
I used to love it. I used to absolutely play the crap out of it, and then after like a couple years of them keep putting games on different fucking consoles, I was like, okay, I'm done. And then I just kept up with the by watching the cutscenes.
I was the opposite. I saved up money, I bought all the consoles, and I made sure I could play every new Kingdom Hearts game that came out.
Quick story time, Travis. Do you remember stealing the game from fucking Walmart?
I do remember stealing Kingdom Hearts 2 from Walmart.
The second one.
That wasn't me,
He was
because I work at Walmart, so I didn't steal Kingdom Hearts 2.
okay.
But it was just someone,
someone
who
named-
looked like you.
So someone who looks just like Travis with the name of Dravis went into Walmart at 15, stuck the Game of the Year edition down his shirt, and then walked out.
That was Travis, that piece of shit.
Can't believe him. Didn't even wait for the
know.
final mix version.
I know. Oh god. But I thought it would be fun to talk about our first experience with Kingdom Hearts. And Seamus, I thought you could go first. What was your first experience with the Kingdom Hearts series?
Interesting little story on that point. Like a lot of people in my age bracket, because I'm a bit older than you may think I am.
I think aren't we both 28?
I actually turned 29 a few weeks back.
I'm still the oldest in the fucking room. God damn it.
That makes a difference. Usually I'm the oldest here, so hey, props is not making me feel old.
Mikey's 41.
Well, you don't look it.
It's because he's 30.
Turning 30. I'm almost there, still got the
okay.
widow's peak from hell, but
I mean, your hair is wild, so you make up for it. And that immaculate beard.
I know. Makes no sense. My hair goes straight brown, and then it looks like a calic cat fucked my face.
You were telling us your story, Seamus.
Yeah, no, I got distracted as I
Me
tend
too.
to do. But interesting kind of aside, I actually started with the first game on the PS2 way back in 2002. Aunt's house I used to visit quite a lot in Ireland, which is because it's from my dad's family side of things. They had a PlayStation 2 at the time, and they had a copy of Kingdom Hearts 1. They mentioned to me that it was quite hard for the nieces that lived there as well. They just couldn't really get into it because the game was quite difficult. But I was obviously, being a 10-year-old at the time, I was actually quite intrigued with the whole kind of Disney aspect of it because I was a fan of it. I still am to this day. And little did I know I was diving into an action RPG probably my first one actually that I can recall, and it kind of enraptured me in a sense because every time I kept going back to their place, I kept going to that game, and I never beat it when I was there. In
Mm.
fact, I think the first game I beat before the first one was actually Chain of Memories, like 2 years later, and then I went back and played Kingdom Hearts 1 on my own PS2. I think at that point, so a bit disjointed, I know, but I was like a kid at the time, so of course that game was
That's
bloody difficult.
yeah. I mean, that's probably um, less disjointed than my experience, I guess. Like
Which
at least you
part did
had
you get
the.
stuck on?
Oh yeah. I know that
Seamus?
too.
Yeah, sorry, what was that?
Which parts were you getting stuck on the first Kingdom Hearts?
I had a lot of memories getting stuck at a lot of the kind of boss fights. Deep Jungle still gives me PTSD flashbacks to the save, for example. Another one is the pot centipede in Agrabah. That still ticks me off like you wouldn't believe. Trying to think of other ones as well. No, those two are always the ones that stick out to me as being ridiculously difficult in my mind.
From Kingdom Hearts 1, Pinocchio. I don't know why, but something about the Pinocchio one drove me nuts.
It was made just
Get
because it
me
was a
out of
disjointed maze.
here!
It was a disjointed maze for the first place. That everything looked the same.
The world itself sucked ass.
Well, the music was great.
Music was good. Music is good throughout the whole series. It's insane.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is really, really good with their music.
Oh fuck, somebody correct me. Yoko Shimomura?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get the composer for Street Fighter 2 in to do your soundtrack, I mean, it's going to be good, right?
Okay, now I have to look up Street Fighter 2 music sometime.
Have you not
you were
played
missing
Street
out.
Fighter 2, Travis? What the fuck?
Maybe
You must
at
have
the
at least
like
heard of the songs. At least they're
the s-
synonymous in gaming
I-
culture.
maybe I've heard them and just didn't know it. Give me a
I
break, dog.
I'm surprised you have not played Street Fighter 2. I didn't know that.
Maybe I've played it at the arcade.
Back when
do we-
arcades existed.
How do we know that wasn't Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, not the original Street Fighter 2, or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or so you could have been playing Street Fighter Alpha for all we know, or it could have been Marvel vs. Capcom, and you've been all like, "What the hell is freaking War Machine doing next to freaking Ryu Hayabusa?" Or wait, hold on, no, that's Strider. I'm getting my ninjas confused.
Yeah, I've heard of the many versions of Street Fighter games.
You know what?
Um,
Turbo was fun. Unless someone played Ryuk, and then you're just fucked.
Turbo sucked ass. I have no idea. Don't listen to me. Mikey, what was your first experience with Kingdom Hearts?
It was actually Kingdom Hearts 2. I got it for Christmas. I don't even think my parents knew what the fuck they were buying. I got it. I put it in, and I at first I was kind of slow to get into it, but I really started liking it. And then I think for me, what really sold me wasn't just the story, but just like the lore behind every little thing. And for me, it was like a mystery still because I never played the first one. So that's where I got like sucked into it at first. And then after I finished the first one, they started making more games and I lost interest because they kept putting it on different fucking consoles.
Was there any particular moment from Kingdom Hearts 2 that kind of captured you?
The Sephiroth fight, because I didn't know that was skippable. I was level 40 fucking 7 on the hardest mode, and I sat there for a month fighting him until I finally did it.
You thought you had to beat him?
Yeah.
My god.
So level 47, first playthrough, hardest mode, I sat there for a month until I fucking beat him. That was insane. And the only reason I beat him is that one of the times where I was running up to go do the fight, I leveled up my my double jump, and I didn't know you could get a double jump on Valor. So I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" And that's what changed it. And then like I spent 2 days like learning how to jump up high enough where I could do the triangle while he was in air, and just like the little like instant frame you get where you could do it on the single double jump. That was fucking hard. so
Dude,
hard.
it's crazy. Yeah, fighting Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2 versus Kingdom Hearts Final Mix is a totally different experience. You don't even get dodge roll in the original Kingdom Hearts 2.
Well, you didn't really need dodge roll in the Five or Sevens because a lot of how that fight worked was really it was about positioning, and a lot of his
Deflect.
attacks could be straight up guarded or
Yep.
just straight up reflected. And some
Yeah.
of his moves, for example, dragged you in. You could have just used glide or to get around
Yeah.
that.
I didn't
For
have
my
glide.
gameplay style, I like my first few times I played Kingdom Hearts 2, I never blocked. Like I never blocked. It was just something I would never do. Fighting Sephiroth, I would jump and then aerial dodge to avoid most of his attacks. Um, I just would not block. I don't know what my deal was. But
Why Travis? Why are you Michael Jacksoning right now?
I don't know. Oh, the gloves. I'm trying not to chew my fingernails. So I'm wearing gloves. It's the best way for
So
me to.
if we see holes at the end of this podcast, we'll know that someone got a bit peckish.
Yeah.
You're starting right now. I can't believe this.
um, but yeah, Sephiroth. Wow. I remember the first time I beat Sephiroth. I was like I was in my living room. I was living in Dallas, Oregon, and I just trying to do it for months, obviously. And I'm freaking out because I'm like, I beat him, and then I unlocked a Keyblade. This is before the internet, so I didn't know. Like, you get a Keyblade and you get a drive gauge. And I'm telling my brother, like, dude, this is crazy. I've been sitting around with six drive gauges. I didn't know a seventh existed. It just blew my mind. And he's like, I don't know what any of that means. Why do I give a fuck? I'm like, it's like they don't know how hard this was. They didn't understand how much of an accomplishment beating Sephiroth was.
Dude, that was like one of the greatest fucking moments for me in Kingdom Hearts 2. Not even beating Xehanort, just
Said this.
Thank you.
I mean, you're technically not wrong though.
Nope,
He was.
yeah.
If I go into the explanation for it, we're gonna be here for 5 minutes.
5 minutes? You mean 5 days?
Oh, well, it's better than
Kingdom
5
Hearts
days
lore
over 2,
is
isn't it?
some shit, dude.
Clone of a dead nobody, of a clone of a heartless, of a dead something else.
Pretty
And don't
much.
forget that like the name Xemnas is his nobody version of a name he stole in the first place. It's not even his original name. It's ridiculous. Gosh, I'm trying to remember when I always knew like what Kingdom Hearts kind of was. I remember seeing commercials for the first game, and I'm like, oh, like it always made Disney and seem cool. Because I was at that point in my life where I was like, oh, I can't like this stuff. It's lame. Like I'm already super unpopular, and nobody likes me. I can't like Disney. It was just really lame where I was to like things, to like anything. I had to stop liking Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, cartoons.
That's normal for our generation, Travis. Like we grew up like same thing with Seamus. Like if he grew up anywhere near America after he became a teenager, that was a normal fucking occurrence here.
You just
like,
couldn't
you
like things.
Yeah,
Unless
if you
they were
like Dragon
violent
Ball
video
Z,
games.
any anime, any of that like card shit you used to play last year, you're a
I know.
loser.
Dude, kids today, I see kids, super young kids, they're all decked out in like weird clothes and anime like references. It just blows me away. I wish I could have been open. Like I had to stop liking anime too, which sucked.
I know, we used to hang out with Christian up in his room. We would fucking hoard anime seasons together.
Binge Inuyasha.
Yeah.
Seamus, you got any particular animes you like?
Well, like, it's funny you mentioned it because when I noticed there was this very noticeable transitional shift between my kind of like childhood interest to being a teenager because a lot of programming at the time in the early to mid 2000s, they were broadcasting a lot of Japanese animated programs localized for the West. And after like a certain point in time, I realized, oh, hold on a second. There are things that I can see online that aren't on television that aren't available to me because we didn't really have Toonami back in Europe. We had like Jetix, I think was the closest thing we had to that, if I recall. So I actually just went from watching kind of like these cartoon-based things to watching anime mostly. And yeah, I kept it kind of mostly to myself, but there were a few people who actually were interested in that kind of subculture side of things. So I can relate to that whole trying to hide your interests there. But I was very dedicated back in the mid to late 2000s on that. Let me tell you.
You're like, fuck it,
You,
I'm rocking this shit.
fucking. Did you watch Dragon Ball Z?
I think I don't remember Dragon Ball Z being on as much. I recall there was a lot of kind of the Yu-Gi-Ohs and the kind of Beyblade was the hottest shit at a
Okay,
point.
so like the WB stuff. That's
Yeah,
where
we
we
didn't
watched all of that.
we didn't have WB sadly, but I forgot what the kind of like transitional kind of point towards okay, there's more to it than just shows based off merchandising. I guess I think
Right,
one of
yeah,
the
that's what a lot of those are. Is just like they're selling products. Is all they're doing. Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Beyblade.
My question's this: during that transition, did you know Avatar came out? So did y'all start watching Avatar after it was done or before?
It's gonna shock the world, but I've never actually seen all of Avatar. I didn't even
Okay,
know it was apparently a thing. I was just watching the authentic stuff.
so you're gonna sit down and watch the whole series tomorrow.
It's really good. I caught Avatar: The Last Airbender. I watched it. I started watching it when it came out, and I used to keep up with all the new episodes. And then I moved to Dallas, Oregon, where they don't have Nickelodeon. Or
How do
was
you
it they
not
didn't
have-
have, or they didn't have Cartoon Network?
The Nickelodeon.
How do
d-
you not
I-
have like
how
a
would you know?
program there, like on a cable network? Like how did it?
I don't know.
How
We
could-
we either didn't have Cartoon Network or we didn't have Nickelodeon. I don't
It's
remember.
Nickelodeon. Because it's Nickelodeon. Avatar is made and produced by Nickelodeon. So when it
See,
was
that's the thing. Yeah. Well, I know it was on Nickelodeon. Now I can't remember.
You just
Oh.
admitted it was a Nickelodeon, exactly.
Well, no, I mean, like, I can't remember which of the programs, weren't available in Dallas. Because maybe I kind of vaguely remember watching Avatar: The Last Airbender in Dallas. Oh, it's so long ago, I can't remember now. Eventually, I did finish it on Netflix a few years later. It was really good. Not before, my Christian spoiled the ending for me. That was kind of lame.
I remember waiting for anime episodes for weeks, for months. Like Naruto is a perfect example where I waited a whole fucking year for a year of filler and I didn't know it was
yes.
filler.
I was a very smart kid back in the day because instead of watching the anime of Naruto, because I don't think it was actually broadcast in Europe at the time, in like 2006. The first ever manga volume I got was Naruto actually. So I actually caught up to the series reading the manga, so I didn't have to deal with that nonsense.
Lucky
A year
you.
filler, and I read the original source, and it was like really neat to see because again, I had not seen like this kind of art style from a different country like this before, and it was unfiltered because again, it was on television. A lot of things have to be kind of changed or altered for different audiences, so it was very different.
Yeah, anime captivated me from a very young age, and I think it does a lot of people because it's just so different, vibrant, and then like they got those moments where the animation kicks in the Sakuga. Yeah, it's just very different from like American style animation. Where was I with my story? Because I feel like my Kingdom Hearts experience
You're talking a lot about seeing the original one on television, and then
Yeah.
you were saying that you would kind of you may have been you didn't think Disney was probably the best thing to look cool at the time or something.
Oh, and
like
that went into a whole tangent about childhood stuff. But yeah, so I mean, years went by. I seen commercials for Kingdom Hearts, and then I remembered like vaguely seeing Chain of Memories, and then I was at my local Blockbuster.
Jesus Christ, that's really showing ages.
Yeah, with our cousin Christian, and I see the cover for Kingdom Hearts. I didn't realize it was Kingdom Hearts 2. I thought it was Kingdom Hearts 1. And I'm like, this game, and the Christian actually pointed out it was 2. I'm like, oh, bummer. And I was like, I don't know, dude. I don't think I want to get Kingdom Hearts 2 without playing Kingdom Hearts 1. And he's like, and I don't know, we decided to get it. I think he was the first to play it. He didn't play very far. He wasn't as into it as I was. At least I don't think he was. But then I played it through the night, and it was also Seamus. It was also my first like action RPG. I never played a game like it. It blew my mind. And you're playing as Roxas. I'm like, who is this kid? Is he the kid from the first game? What are all these memories like? Donald and Goobers? Like, I was just
Donald
I was
and
so
Goobers?
lost.
What the fuck?
Donald and Goobers. Uh, and then the moment I knew this game was something special is like when you get to that fight with the big giant wiggly nobody. What do they call him?
Twilight Thorn.
Twilight Thorn. Thank you. Like that fight just stole my imagination and set an incredibly high bar for every video game to come after that. So that shit was just, I'm like, Christian sleeping behind me on his bed, and I turned to him like, are you seeing this fucking shit? Isn't this the coolest fucking thing you've ever seen? And he's like, because he's fucking half asleep. And yeah, and I was staying at his house for like that week, and we sat there and we took turns playing the game, and we beat it. But we also went through the whole game because it was our first action RPG. We didn't equip like any abilities.
Oh
so we
my god.
We went through the whole game with that basic ass combo and drive forms. And when we were fighting, this is crazy. When we were fighting Xemnas, and he's doing the dome attack, I didn't know you could press triangle. Or I didn't know you could
remember
press
that.
X.
I
Like,
remember that because I came down and I was doing the fight, and you're like, you can press both?
Yeah, because you go through the whole game pressing triangle, right? But I noticed like over the X button it says block. I'm like, what? And then I press it, and Sora starts blocking. I'm like, what? I just start going like this. They could do both. Like, we made the fight so much harder than we had to because we had gotten to that end part multiple times, and multiple times, and we both managed to beat it only pressing triangle.
What?
Yeah. So we had to make sure we had enough HP, and it was just awful. Oh, and we were only level 36.
Yeah, that sounds like a bit of a challenge for that.
Yeah,
that's
no,
for sure.
we just didn't know how to play the game proper. And Christian, the only game he's played is Kingdom Hearts 2. He skipped every single game and jumped to Kingdom Hearts 3 and skipped all the cutscenes because he only plays Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3 for the gameplay. He doesn't care about the story like at all. So he's got a weird perspective on this series.
Well, he also like me and him grew up playing like Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank, so we're like we really like those like intricate stories where it's like, okay, here's the story, 3-second cutscene, now fucking fight.
Yeah, no, I don't remember him ever being in like he doesn't seem invested in any of the stories in any of the games he plays. Maybe Dark Souls a little bit. I don't know. We've never really talked in depth about stories in games. I don't think that's why he plays games.
No, I think he plays games for the combat. He definitely plays games
for the gameplay, which I don't blame him for.
Yeah. So does he like mostly play multiplayer kind of focused games, I guess?
Yes.
He plays a lot of Call of Duty. He plays Demon Souls. He's really into Demon Souls. And that's pretty much it. I don't think he's played anything super crazy. He comes over. Oh, did I say Demon Souls? I meant Dark Souls. Because he's been coming over to my house to play Demon Souls on PS5. Because he doesn't have PS5 and he's not going to get one.
I don't.
But he really likes it.
Like he's got his friends on one console. I don't blame him for not.
He only plays with Daniel. That's the only person he plays with, and sometimes me. When sometimes he'll ask me to play, and that's the only time I'll ever play Call of Duty is when Christian wants to play Call of Duty.
Speaking of childhoods and games, y'all get picked on for liking anime at all, or was it just me?
Back in the day, I used to, and then I stopped liking anime because of it.
You're not going to believe this, but some of my friend groups, even today, still make fun of it to this day.
Anime is practically mainstream in most contexts now.
I'm gonna go with anime's hit mainstream. When you can walk into regular stores and fucking buy something anime, it's mainstream.
It is everywhere. I think. What
I
was
had
I
a
going to
bottle
say?
of piss thrown at me when I was younger for anime.
Oh, see, people are fucked. I remember this kid who used to like. He was really into Naruto. This is middle school, and he used to wear the fucking headband. I'm like, I'll never watch that show ever. It's if this kid is like this into it and is acting really weird because of it, I'll never. I'm sure I'll never like it. And then I sat down and there was nothing on TV, and they had a Naruto marathon, and I'm like, you know what? This is actually pretty fucking good.
It's every anime. You're like, fuck it, I don't want to watch it. And then it's like, oh, there's a marathon. Fuck it. And then you're like sucked in. Speaking of, what was your guys' first anime? Do you remember?
I do. Seamus, what was your first anime? You might have already mentioned it.
Well, I mean, I want to be kind of technical here because, of course, I don't want to count the things like, say, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblade, Duel Masters. If anyone remembered that show.
Oh my god, I still had Duel Master cards. I had Duel Master cards.
Then we got like things like Shaman King. Then we got like Sonic X as well. Then that Butchered One Piece kind of dub we got back in there. I don't really count those because we
don't talk
again,
about
those are kind of heavily kind of adjusted for like television audience. But in terms of like something that was more aimed towards
authentic,
yes, I believe the first one I remember watching like begin to end that kind of like enraptured me a fair bit was tell me if you've heard of the show. It was a Toonami kind of show called IGPX or Immortal Grand Prix.
Is that the one with the giant mech under New York City? No, that's Big O. That's Big O I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Big O.
It's not Big O.
Which is American, actually.
It was a show that was produced by Production IG. It was commissioned by Cartoon Network as an exclusive kind of show for them. And the general premise was it was about mechs again, but it was set in the year 2049, and the entire point was it was mechs racing each other in like a Grand Prix style. So it's 3-on-3, and like they fight each other like on this massive like 180-mile track. Do you remember this? Now you're getting some of it.
I remember that.
I never watched it.
They got like freaking like star power in there. Like dude, I remember like Tom Kenny was in it. Like freaking Mark Hamill was also in it there as well. They speaking of Kingdom Hearts again, Haley Joel Osment actually, I think in his first and maybe only anime role, was actually playing the main character.
Really?
You know, that's so fucking funny because like that was during the time when I watched Zoids.
Oh, Zoids with the big animal robots.
Yeah, it was Zoids, but my first anime was Yu Yu Hakusho.
I remember that one vaguely. I only watched a couple episodes.
There was one night I was at my grandma's at like when I was like 7 or something like that, and I couldn't sleep, so I turned on the TV and I went to Cartoon Network, and they were doing a marathon, I guess, because I sat up, and next thing you know, I fucking look outside and it's like 8 o'clock. The sun is shining. Grandma comes in. It's like time to get up. And I'm like, I haven't slept yet.
Stayed up watching Yu Yu Hakusho all night?
I stayed up the whole night, and there was a 3-day marathon for the whole series. So I literally just stayed up and watched every episode almost. Went to bed for like a few hours, woke up, turned it back on, and it was still playing. I watched all of it. Watched all the way to the end of the Demon Tournament.
Well, yeah, that is a long ass arc to watch all at once.
I never that was my first anime, so I was like sucked in. I'd never seen anything like it, so I was just like, oh my god, this is cool as fuck.
Yeah, I've been kind of wanting to go back because I remember bits and pieces of it, and I remember thinking it was cool. I remember this one part in particular where he's like riding a bike and he's going so fast he rides past a speeding car.
Are we talking about the same show here?
It's the same. I swear it's the same fucking show. I'm gonna be really pissed if it's not, because
it's not the same fucking show.
No, dude, it was it was the hair, and he was just on a bike and he was going. Shut the fuck up, fuck you guys.
Are you talking about? Are you confusing Yurameshi or Yusuke with Kuwabara?
I think he is.
I just know
Because it seems like that would be like a cool bar thing to do, would be to get on a bike and go faster than a car, because that's just
Oh,
that's
no,
just in his character.
never mind. He's right.
Yes.
I looked it up. He literally is riding a bike faster than the red car.
Thank you. Are they on a cliffside?
No, I don't see any cliffside thing.
Because I thought they were on a cliff too.
You're,
All right.
you're,
Well,
you're probably thinking of a different arc, with the one after the Demon Tournament arc. I think there was some there was a lot of mountain ranges in that arc, if I recall.
Yeah, and if you go also before the Demon Terminate, when they went to Demon World to stop the four idiots from escaping as well, there was a lot of cliffs there because they're climbing up the tower the whole time.
I have a funny video.
No, I remember that. That was good. That was a good arc too, actually.
Oh, Travis got videos. Oh, great.
Yeah,
oh, fuck me,
I got
Daddy.
a handful of Kingdom Hearts videos, and I feel like I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but Seamus, you discovered me playing Kingdom Hearts, right? I think you
believe
raided
so.
my channel.
Mhm.
I think it was the first
that's
raid I
fun.
ever had. And you raided my channel and followed, and then I started following you, and like, oh, this guy's playing Kingdom Hearts too. So like we both play a lot of Kingdom Hearts on our channels. And
I've
I
looked
think
a few times
I
on
think
his channel.
What's that?
I've looked a few times after he showed me on his channel. Because you showed me Seamus, Travis, so I was checking him out after you showed me for a little bit.
I like what he's doing right now with the level 1 critical key kingdom key only.
It has been hell. I am at the secret boss right now. I'm actually made it to the secret boss of Remind.
You made it to Yuzora. I noticed that.
It is not
you
a
allowed
fun
to
experience. I have already died almost like 150 times, I think.
So are you allowed to die, or are you doing a no death run?
No, if I got a no death run, I would have had to restart the game over 4,000 times at this point.
Oh, well, come on. Stop being a scrub. No death run.
Yeah. I finally beat
so much
Yuzora on critical myself.
Critical, level 1 Keyblade, no equipment, only starting
Is your
stuff.
Is your Keyblade maxed out?
It is, yes.
Okay. So you allow yourself to use the Kingdom Key, but you're on level 1, so there's like no once more or second chance. If you get hit, you're basically done.
I have been told by a lot of people, oh, you can just go to the sledding minigame to get items that give you once more second chance. I'm like, I'm not doing that. That kind of defeats the purpose.
That gives you what? Once more second chance?
There's like accessories in critical, or I think that if you do the sledding
really?
minigame in Arundel, I was told that you can get accessories that give you once more second chance as abilities on accessories, I believe.
I did not know that. Wow. Yeah, I think adding abilities to like accessories and armor, or is it just accessories?
No, it's just accessories. Armor is all about stat changes.
Okay, yeah, I think that was really, really cool how they added abilities to accessories. Oh, how's Amelia doing?
Amelia's doing good. Sorry, she was starting to fuss, so I had to pick her up.
That's okay. Newborn baby. She's so cute. All right, I'm gonna drop this link in the chat, in the soundboard chat.
Yeah. She was crying. Oh, you're giving me a big smile, huh? Mama's back.
Was she crying?
No, but she was.
There might be some new information in here for Mikey. Because he's Mikey. You haven't finished Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
No.
Right. Yeah.
Because after I got the game and was playing it, and after the first half hour of fucking cutscenes, I lost interest because I wanted to play the game, and it was just a half hour of fucking cutscenes.
It's ironic because Kingdom Hearts 3 is probably the fastest start in any of the games. It gets you right in there faster than any of the other ones.
True.
It just I don't know why, but the start of Kingdom Hearts 3 was so slow to me that I just lost interest because I would get 2 minutes of gameplay and then another half-hour cutscene, and I was just like,
I think you might be over exaggerating. I've played
He's
the game like
over-exaggerating.
yeah, no, this is that's like near the end of the game where it gets the cutscenes of that level there.
no, I'm really not. They're insanely long. Like, they're insanely long.
Some
for
of them are
Kingdom
pretty
Hearts 3.
fucking long. I mean, I'll give you that. But you're also a little bitch, and just play the game.
You could just press start and press skip cutscene if you're really that bothered.
I couldn't.
You couldn't? There's
No,
way.
it wasn't. It wouldn't let me fucking skip. Everything I tried, it wouldn't let me fucking skip. Even when I pressed start, it was like, no, you can't skip. And I was like, what the fuck?
I don't believe you, Mikey.
No, for real. Chloe literally watched me try to skip cutscenes. It wouldn't let me fucking skip.
Are you sure you're pressing the options button and not the giant touchpad in front of you? That could have been the
I
issue.
will fucking drive where you live, Seamus, and I will shove a controller up your ass. Yes.
Good luck crossing the Atlantic Ocean.
It better not be the freaking Duke controller, because we might have problems then.
Oh man. Yeah, Mikey, did you have you played the other games in the series?
I've watched I played 365 over 2 days. I played Rechain of Memories, and I watched the rest of the cutscenes for the other games.
Oh damn! You play some of the worst games in the series. No wonder.
I know,
such a
right?
bad thought of it.
I mean 358 over 2 days has got one of my favorite stories.
I'm just now playing is it Ventus? No, not Ventus. Am I on Aqua? No. Birth by Sleep, I'm still on Ventus, I think.
Well, the thing is, you could choose who you wanted to play as. There's no like strict order, really.
The best order, though, objectively, is Terra, Ventus, Aqua. But I mean,
I think I am on Terra then. I can't remember.
Is it the big dude,
I
the
think
little
I'm missing
dude,
up. Hold
or
on,
the
let me
lady?
look up. Hold on. Let me. I'm on Terra.
Terra.
Oh yeah,
yeah, big dude.
Sorry, big brain fart.
He's probably one of my least favorite to play as.
Yeah.
A lot of his attacks, he's slower. He misses a lot.
All right.
I like using the Seamus, you got the video pulled up?
I don't actually see the chat you actually are mentioning, so I actually don't see it.
Oh, Travis, soundboard's only available to me and you.
Oh, all right. Let me drop it in chit chat in the socials.
Probably a good idea.
Yep.
Thank you.
I thought people could see into the soundboard chat.
No, I made the whole thing unseeable and unenterable so people don't fucking go in there and start screwing with shit.
And use our soundbar.
Very good idea.
Oh, hold on. I set up this soundboard last time, and I love it. Check this out. Sometimes it doesn't work. I gotta figure out a new system to use.
I think we
hold on.
I think we just need to code a bot. You just
code a bot.
It's really simple. It's just Python.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a coding program. It's like a coding program with text, I believe.
It's a coding language.
Okay. Check this out.
Someone's gotta milk the birthday girl's
That's
big
the one I
fat
tried to
cow
play.
udders.
God damn it.
I need like 2 Band-Aids.
You and that fucking 2 Band-Aids.
I'm gonna say that on my birthday.
You're gonna say that on your birthday, Chloe. Chloe's gonna say it on her birthday.
Those are just some clips from videos we've watched.
I still think the Destiny's Holy Shit is the best holy shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, I still haven't added that one.
Holy shit.
Does everybody have the video
5
up?
fucking minutes, Travis? I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, I mean, like, there's only, like, it's really a 4-minute video.
Yeah, there's a lot of credits. There is, yeah.
Yeah, it is just a really funny video. It's Kingdom Hearts. And we're going to watch it in 3, 2, 1.
Gay.
They should help Mikey out a lot.
Is this gonna be like Dragon Ball Z abridged?
No, this is just like summarizing the entire series in 4 minutes.
Really?
Told with half the pacing and none of the
Great.
You can tell they're good friends because they sit next to each other and talk about how good of friends they are. They are good friends. They eat ice cream. No one is being coerced. Do not question. Unfortunately, the worlds have been overtaken by darkness. It's It's a Kingdom Hearts cutscene. You can say any words in any order. Darkness, darkness, light, dark, heart, dark memories, light, dark, friendship, darkness. In fact, for the rest of this video, let's replace the word darkness with bees, and it'll make exactly as much sense. When someone is overtaken by bees, their heart becomes a heartless, and their empty body becomes a nobody, and then those become problems. Only the Keyblade can free the
love
heart from
that.
the heartless, and there's only one Keyblade wielder, and that's Sora. Only one. Only one. Only one. Only one. Only one. Only one. Okay, all right. So I guess just anyone can use these things now. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Just handing these things out like lollipops.
That's what we call retconning.
Donald's unconscious
So much
body is
retconning.
the fight against the forces of bees. Instead of finding Kyrie or her various Kyrie colors, spend 60% of each game doing the Disney character's chores while fighting Maleficent, who is absolutely convinced that she is the main antagonist. Girl, please. Who are all these people that turned into the Heartless that you're fighting? Who knows? Probably all the characters from the Disney properties nobody cares about. Sorry, Black
I can
Cauldron.
confirm the Black Cauldron
Maybe
is
they're
not
all
that
the-
good.
The Black Cauldron's one of my favorite movies.
Luckily for him, Sora's well equipped to deal with these enemies.
Well, it's not in Kingdom Hearts, therefore it's not canon to me.
Start the game
True.
mashing one button and finish the game mashing 2 buttons. Because every single ability is mapped to the exact same place. Because nothing says fun like playing a video game in one hand while shuffling through a deck of cards in the other. And if you spend 4,000 hours grinding every single ability and figuring out their weird EXP requirements, you can unlock abilities the game thinks should be optional. Like
Okay, I
dodging.
believe you.
Is there a lingering
Like
question you
dodging!
have after playing one of the games? Well, don't
I just
worry,
see Piccolo in the
Rabbit
background.
Bandit's always the
Dodge!
answer. It's just never satisfying. Despite not releasing a main game in 13 years, the
This
fun
came out before
stays
Kingdom Hearts
the same.
3.
Genuinely great boss fights, memorable music, and a few other things.
Oh, yeah.
Join the hype and get excited for the new worlds Disney's acquired through their cutthroat business practices. Then watch the nostalgia crumble around you as you ask yourself, wow, was the
Capitalism.
writing always this bad? It was. It was always this bad.
All right, I approve.
That's true.
Ignore the light, Sora. The bees are nothing to fear. Control them.
Why, Kermit?
Handle them. Become a beekeeper.
See him being like a power, like a Yoda-esque character.
It's Goofy! They put bugs in him!
Okay, oh my god, that is terrifying. It's like a used cum rag.
The gook
Oh no.
is gone. I'm a boy gooks. I don't need
What the
fun.
fuck?
I've been manipulating you since the start. Also, I can something Keyblade.
Wait, Goofy was a bad guy the whole
I
time?
don't believe it! The Goofy
Yeah, you didn't
Nino
know?
is still
You didn't know
there.
that?
Oh yeah? Watch me remove the
Wait, are you
subtitles
fucking
so
serious?
Nobody can understand Donald
Very.
anymore.
He's gonna explain it.
Riku! Wait, I mean Donald!
You see, in the 10 seconds I was dead in Kingdom Hearts 2, Seamus came by and replaced my body with a digital double.
Oh god, they killed Donald.
So baby, don't go.
So Donald? Wait,
Hey, thank you for watching.
what?
Okay.
It's a lot-
Okay, what? Whoa. So the entire time, Goofy is a double.
Okay, so remember when Goofy died in Kingdom Hearts 2?
He didn't die. Oh wait, he did die.
He was dead for like 10 seconds. The organization replaced him after he died with like a double, with like a data copy double. Don't ask me how they managed to get data to exist in the real world. It's way too complicated. And
And this is what you call lazy writing and then
then-
backpedaling and retconning shit.
yeah, that's why you need to finish Kingdom Hearts 3 because
No,
Goofy
this is why you
one,
don't like.
No,
what
Goofy
the
is-
fuck?
Goofy is one of the craziest fights in at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, Seamus, weren't you stuck on Goofy for like ever?
I mean, his shield is practically impenetrable.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my, like he's like Vexen, but way harder. Like,
So
know,
you
because
literally
Vexen
killed
had-
Goofy.
No, I'm fucking with you.
I mean, don't even get me started on the Donald boss fight.
Oh my god, the Zeta Flare. Oh, he
But
doesn't
yes,
know Zeta.
we
Do you know
are
Zeta
completely
Flare, Mike?
we are completely screwing with you.
Oh yeah, it's none of that's true.
I thought you were serious. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, you came in clutch with that shield. I was gonna mention
Dude,
the
I
shield,
was
and,
about
no,
to
you, you were on it.
apart the series. I was about to demolish it and just be like, this is why I quit the game. I'm so
Honestly,
glad I quit the game. This is bullshit.
If any of that was true, I think the series would be better.
To be honest, I would only agree with you, but I would only agree if it was like hinted. Like if you went back and played the original games and it was hinted, then that would be fine. But like last second writing, like, hey, let's just make him a bad guy. It would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, like
I mean,
a lot of cases, Kingdom Hearts likes to retcon a insane amount of things.
Everything.
Into their
It
lore.
retcons a lot, and sometimes not always for the best. Like I think in my opinion, they kind of ruined the lore behind Nobodies. Nobodies were so interesting, and they kind of ruined it. They like it was kind of this like they were these sad shells pretending to have emotions, and they retconned that, and it was such an interesting. It was so interesting. But you know,
I personally think once you make something canon, don't fucking backpedal and retcon it, because it's like, what's the point of retconning it if it's already established? Because you want to make something else seem cooler and better. It's like, no, you gave us something interesting. Don't take it away.
I think he retconned it because he wanted to bring back all of those characters. And
that's
like,
stupid.
He just wanted to bring them all back.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I think maybe they also needed like a reason. He needed a reason for Axel to come back. He needed a reason for a bunch of these people to come back, which is bad writing, but whatever. But do you know what Zeta Flare is?
What?
Zeta Flare. Do you know Zeta Flare?
No.
Oh my god. All right, Seamus, we're gonna show him Zeta Flare.
The fuck's a Zeta? What the fuck's a flare?
Hold on.
In Final Fantasy, you have moves like Fire and Firaga, and you know those kind of spells that go there. They actually are legitimate tiers in Final Fantasy spellcasting. So the stronger it actually become. I believe Zeta is like one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful moves.
It's
in,
a new
Final Fantasy thing.
It's a new tier.
It's not any of them. It's like essentially the most powerful spell in like Final Fantasy history, and it's wielded by Donald Duck.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's like Flare in itself is really good.
Which spell? Which spell are you talking about?
Flare.
From Final Fantasy. We're talking about Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
Do you have the video pulled up?
You're telling me, you literally are talking about Zeta Flare from Final Fantasy.
Well, Zeta Flare is a new spell. It follows the like Final Fantasy tier system, but it's never been in Final Fantasy. It's a new spell, and we're gonna show it to you for the first time.
Interesting.
All right.
So it follows the tier system.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
All right. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, this scene already has a lot of problems in it already, but Zeta Flare is not one of them.
Alright, Goofy just pulled a badass moment.
Yeah.
And Donald's just fucking going Super Saiyan. What the fuck?
Yeah. This is why you need to finish the game.
Donald, no!
He literally just Kamehameha'd him. Holy fuck! Okay, that was cool. That one was actually cool. Holy shit!
You see what it's like.
Yeah.
Donald. What the fuck?
We don't need to have Goku here. We just have Donald like show up to take on Vegeta to take on the Saiyans, if you ask me.
Holy shit! Sora's just like, yay, thank you. Donald's just like, oh yeah, I had this spell the whole time. Don't worry about it.
And he dies.
Goofy knew what was happening. Yeah, isn't that shit crazy?
What the fuck?
Why can't he do that in the actual combat of the game? That's what I want to know.
If it's gonna knock you out every time, I mean,
he's already being knocked out all the time anyway.
True.
Maybe he's a little bit like Krillin, but he has Saiyan DNA, so he's able to just get a little boost each time. So when he finally is like, all right, I'm gonna release everything at once.
Oh gosh, what's that? Donald's like that chick from that show Konosuba.
There are a lot of very, very unstable women in Konosuba, so you might need to be a little bit more
the
specific.
explosion magic lady who can only use one spell a day. Megamine, yeah. She passes out every time she casts a spell.
Because she refuses to learn any lower.
Konosuba?
It's because she refuses to use any lower tier spells because she loves explosions too much. Yet she's too underleveled to use explosion but she just loves using them too much. That
It literally looks like a wizard thing, like they stole from what's that fucking anime? Fairy Tale.
I thought you were going to say Log Horizon, because that would have worked too. Just because Fairy Tale says, "Oh, it's a show about wizards," I'm sorry. Last time I checked, wizards don't punch people with fire fists. Last I checked.
You know, last time I checked, yes, they do. Because have you ever played D&D?
No, I haven't really. So I guess I'm not in the know.
Speaking of D&D, Mikey, we need to. We've made our characters. No. We still need to. Like I just need to come up with like little chapters essentially for us to play. We'll do it eventually. We're gonna do it. We're gonna play like little mini sessions of D&D where we take turns being the dungeon master.
I am Dungeon Daddy.
Yeah. It'll be fun. And then like on occasion we'll have guests come in as guest characters in our little mini D&D sessions. But we've been talking about that for a long time and we haven't really gotten around to it. We will though.
I just want to say something. Travis, you know how I was streaming last night?
Yes.
I thought I was still streaming after I stopped recording. So when I got to that end part, and I was recording. Yeah, Robert. Say hello.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Roy.
Anyways, for 7 hours. So for 7 hours, I continued to talk to myself and play, work on my stream, work on animation work, play some video games. After 7 fucking hours after you started watching, I looked down to end the stream and I wasn't fucking streaming. I was recording. So I have 7 hours of footage.
Hey, at least you didn't lose it. At least you still have it.
But like still, I was so fucking done. So I'm gonna have to stream again today to make up for it, because it's just like.
Can't you just like play it on the video and like have stream the 7-hour session with you being in the chat there?
You know, I'm thinking about it.
Open OBS and then and stream and then just play the video.
Fuck, I can't fucking believe that happened. I truly just can't. And I got followers while I was doing it. So I was like, oh, thank you, Convict. Thank you for following me. Oh, thank you, Dev Krishna. And no, they weren't fucking there. Just like random fucking followers.
Seamus, I know you made you made your new mascot and like emotes recently.
Oh yes.
You made those. You only have the 3 emotes?
Well, no, it's not that I have 3. What I did was for those who are not in the know, I recently introduced a mascot called Batomi. She's an android girl, essentially, because of course she is. But what I did was I like last year, the artist who actually originally designed her made a whole bunch of emotes for her. So I obviously have been sitting on these for like over a year, and I had like I think like how many do I have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 emotes here. And what I had to do was we had to determine, okay, out of the 10, which of these 3 do you want on my Twitch channel there? So that was what that was about. So I got 10 on my Discord, and I got 3 that were the most popular ones from what people voted for on my Twitch. So that's the story there.
Yeah, and they're actually pretty good, Mike. Yeah, I used some because I'm currently like I think I'm a tier 1 sub at the moment. And I used his emotes in your chat yesterday.
Oh, cool.
The Hego girl, I immediately called them out on it.
That was like the second most popular one, I think.
You know that one, the cross eyes with the tongue.
And my fucking wife in the background's like, I'm the only one that can go.
That's funny. But yeah, Mike, you're shaking.
Oh,
It's because he's excited considering what we were just discussing.
Oh yeah, I know, right? No, so
keep your hands where I can see them.
My desk isn't shaking. My camera's mounted to the wall, and the dryer is running.
Things are getting intense.
Oh, I'm about to. Senpai. Iku.
My God, it's just like one of my Japanese animes.
It's just like one of my Japanese animes.
Oh, but like, I'm currently in the process of like, redesigning mine and Taylor's avatars for our channel. And then I'm gonna make new emotes. But I was wondering because like I can only have one tier 1, one tier 2, and one tier 3. How many tier 1 emotes are you allowed to have?
It depends really because they introduced this system called sub points. So the more subscriptions you kind of get over time, you get more sub points, and I think at certain thresholds you get another sub slot for your tier 1. So I'm at 3 right now.
I think
how do you get to 3?
10.
Like
10.
It's 15 to get your new one. How many more after that do you have to get?
Yeah, I've got to get like I think maybe 10 to 15 to get a 4th slot, but I'm at 3 right. I think it was like they said like 35. I think it was. I have to get to.
How'd you get to 3? How many sub points do you have?
I have I think 20 or 23. I think right now.
Wow, I think I was at 5 or 6 for a while, and I'm back down to 3. And like I really, really want to get to at least. Because I'm gonna have this person make like 3 emotes, but they're gonna be sitting around for a while until I can get these fucking sub points. But do you have a tier more than one tier 2?
I haven't put any tier 2 or 3 on because I don't have enough things to benefit a tier 2 or 3 as of right now. So.
Right. Sorry, babe, that sucks. Yeah, I was just curious how all that works because I have all these assets from the podcast, so I try to implement them. So I'm like, oh, okay, here's a tier 2 emote, here's a tier 3 emote, and it's just gonna be a bummer that I'm gonna make the 3, and I'm just gonna have to hold on to them for a very long time.
Okay, I found the thing. So affiliate emotes, you get 1 per slot. Subscriber points for affiliates, 15 points, 25 points, 35 points, then 50 plus.
Yeah, I wanna.
Yeah.
I thought sub points like accumulated over time. I didn't know it's something you have to like maintain.
They changed it, which personally I think the reason why they changed it was to decrease their the server requirements. They also, I think they did this in a really disheartened way. Twitch is just doing everything they can to fuck their community, it feels like. And it more so than ever with the most recent changes to their guidelines and the events happening around DMCA's. Twitch is like not protecting anyone, and they're gonna die. Twitch is gonna kill itself within 5 years. Guarantee it.
That's it. We're going to YouTube, boys.
I've been thinking of streaming on and off on YouTube to see which one starts giving me the better viewership. But I love the community of Twitch. Twitch's community is what makes Twitch, which is why Twitch is so popular. But if Twitch is going to kill itself, the community has to go somewhere eventually. So. Yeah,
I know like a lot of controversial streamers, like political streamers and stuff. They end up switching between, they swap between Twitch and YouTube. Sometimes they'll get banned or or I know a lot of them come back when they get unbanned.
Well, like
But
Twitch is like, oh, you can't say simp anymore, and it's just like, what the fuck? Well, and then they turn around and they're adding the new tag system they're adding for mental health. It's like, what are you doing? You do not add. I have, like, the tags where you can add them into your like stream so people can like look up. That is something that's going to promote harassment, because there's going to be those people that are like, oh, I want to find somebody with depression and go there and tell them to kill themselves and shit like that, and it's only going to fucking promote it.
Because right now it's like, I do notice that there's a lot of them. One I do see a fair bit is the kind of LGBT, all the ones in between plus there, which is a very kind of inclusive thing. So really, you can't really box someone into that specifically. Yep. That's smart, I think, because the problem that you're mentioning there is it would be far too specific. And even then, like, mental issues in themselves are detrimental, even if they would have kind of put towards that. This seems like a really daft move to do.
It's like, I feel like they were trying to do something nice, like because like, oh, now you can tag LGBTQ, and then like, oh, okay, so the idea is like, oh, you go here and this is supposed to be a safe place for the LGBTQ community with an LGBTQ creator, and then
like that
and then
I
you
don't
get the
agree
opposite.
with that.
The opposite will happen, whereas people come in and harass. Usually they get banned, though. I don't see this problem as much
Twitch,
as like you're bringing it up.
Well, no, it will. It's a more of a problem for more popular creators. But the thing is that LGBTQ tag is actually detrimental to themselves, because Twitch doesn't have any barrier between that. Oh, you banned me. I'm gonna go make another account and harass you again, because you can make multiple accounts under the same email. Like you can literally just sit there and keep making accounts and going to the same streamer and harassing. So like, I understand like wanting a safe space for those people, but under the TOS, it's technically already supposed to be a safe space. And I understand wanting that to like, oh, I found a creator, but like Twitch doesn't have a searchable platform. And I think that was what they actually were trying to do, was find a way to make it so you could find searchable content, but they just don't fucking know what they're doing.
They do shoot themselves in the foot a lot.
They literally keep doing it, and I'm just waiting for the fucking ship to go.
This is why I try to avoid. I save all of my controversial takes for the podcast, and I try to keep the gaming stuff separate from the podcast stuff. Podcast is where I feel safe to talk about those types of issues, politics, religion, yada yada. But the Twitch and the gaming channel, Trabte Plays, we just have fun there. You don't, Seamus, I imagine you try to keep those things separate too.
In my mind, I always, how I see things usually is, as soon as you bring politics into something, a lot of the fun and kind of aspects kind of goes up, because one thing I've seen online in a lot of cases, whether it be kind of social media or on YouTube or streams, etc., is that kind of talking about politics always leads to drama and always leads to some kind of discourse, always leads to argumentation, etc. So I always try to focus on what entertainment kind of I create or work on as purely that. I try to keep that kind of stuff out of it, because again, it causes arguments and things. We've seen it over and over again.
Yeah, I
agree.
See, I was really on this weird fence for a long time. Or like, because like I want to talk about these issues like really bad. I want to have the discourse. I want to have the conversations, but I don't want to alienate my audience, like who come for the games. And then I jokingly said, "Hey, Mikey, you want to start a podcast?" He's like, "Yeah, let's start a podcast." I'm like, "Well, this is it. A separate channel where we can talk about, like, we can get our takes out there and have like in-depth conversations about issues we have going on in the world, and I can keep it separate from Trabte Plays. This is like my safe space where I can talk about unsafe things."
Yeah, that's why, like, on my Twitch, I have it in the chat thing, no politics, because I don't want to talk politics.
It'll just turn into a fucking shit show.
It will. It always does.
Yeah. That's something I need to curb, I think, a little bit, because if somebody wants to talk about that stuff on Travte Plays while I'm streaming, I'm like, I'm not a bitch. Let's fucking talk about it. But at the same time, I need to be careful not to alienate the people who come for the games. But that's why we got the podcast. So,
Gives
but
you an outlet.
yes, I need it so bad. I really needed it. So I'm glad, Mikey, that you that we could do this, have this platform together and talk about, politics and philosophy, religion, all that shit.
Seamus, I haven't heard you go on a rant yet. Like, how can we get you ranting?
That's actually a legitimately good point. I don't know how, because
I'll be done in a bit, babe.
Because I tend to kind of rant on some of the most ridiculous things, and
Anything you need to get off your chest?
not specifically, because I would assume you want me back in here in this podcast at some point, and if I decide to go on a tangent for 5 minutes,
Go on a tangent. I do.
But I don't
You
know. But I don't know what to go on a tangent about.
Have you not seen what I go on tangents about? I just fucking riff. Let it go.
What's your least favorite thing about Kingdom Hearts?
I would go on a tangent about.
Do it.
All right. Let me talk about why I hate 358 over 2 days. I will tangent this to hell and back. I will do this because.
Okay,
right,
go for it.
So this was the first Kingdom Hearts game that came out after 2. After 3 years after 2 came out, this was the next chapter in there. So it was kind of a big deal. It was also kind of a spin-off towards, we get to see what the organization was doing in between 1 and 2. Seems like a pretty cool concept. The problem is they've decided to completely change the entire bloody ecosystem and the design of the games. In the previous titles, even in Chain of Memories as well, the entire point was you visit an area once, or twice in some cases, to do a certain story or take part in an event or something like that. But in bloody 358 over 2, you're forced to go to the same locations ad nauseum. There's even missions where you just have to look at, let's say, a stall in Agrabah, or you look like at a plant in Halloween Town, and you're like, that's interesting. I gotta write that down in my handy dandy Blue's Clues notebook. I'm sure the organization will clearly have some kind of usage to this skeleton creature called Jack Skellington trying to think about what the hell Christmas is or something. That's going to be crucially important. But no, it's not, because a lot of what you do in the world is mostly inconsequential at that point, and the music they do, it doesn't compare, because for some reason trying to put a PS2 kind of MIDI soundtrack onto a DS was a terrible decision, and all the trumpet sound like they sound horribly. God, I can't even. Just listen to Beast's Castle on 358 over 2 days compared to the PS2, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The trumpets sound horrible in MIDI on the DS in that game. But then that's not even the only part. I know that people like the story, I do as well. But I only like the second half. Why? Because the first half is mostly just... It literally is just 3 characters sitting on top of a clock tower for about 2 hours collectively, eating ice cream and talking about pseudo-philosophy about what is death supposed to be? Are we friends yet? Why does ice cream taste salty and sweet at the same time? If I were to jump off this clock tower, would I die? But I don't have a heart, so therefore I wouldn't die anyway. Like, Axel, why are you going away for a while? What's Castle Oblivion? Why are you giving me a stick shield to fight people there? Like, I don't understand what's going on. It's like, I understand the idea is to build these kind of characters and they're kind of learning the complexities of life, even though they apparently have no emotions to do so, yet they probably do, which is the irony which they retconned into Dream Drop Distance. But that's beside the point. That game has a lot of problems plot-wise too. But no, the second half is a lot better, because at that point it starts tying into the actual canon. Riku gets involved in it in a big way. In a lot of cases, Shion has more of a purpose. There's actual strife between the 3. There's actual drama, which is something that is good for stories. That's why Birth by Sleep was so good, because there was a lot of drama between the 3 that kind of they had went back and forth. That's why the story was so good in that game. But no, it's just horribly paced. 358 over 2 days. I mean, pretty much nothing happens for the first 176 days anyway, which is around half at that point anyway. But then we get into the combat system, and good God, did they mess this up too. All right, so in previous games there, you leveled up normally with getting experience points. You gain abilities based on the stats that you choose at the start of the game. You have some party members with you that you're able to customize pretty handy stuff, very easy to get. But for some reason in 358, they decided to overcomplicate things. So people, I can understand them liking the card-based system in Chain of Memories. I do too. I think that's actually a good means to customize it, even though there was a lot of randomness to what cards you get, which really ruins with that. In that side of things, even in Recom, the same problem kind of still persists. But in 358, you're dealt this grid-based system. I like to assume that the team who made this Resident Evil 4, that game's pretty neat. Their whole grid-based inventory system. Let's make that our entire leveling system, completely going against the point that that was just for equipment. So, in order to gain levels, you have to put them inside slots like items, or if you want to multiply them to level up even more, you have to have these Tetris pieces, and then put them in there for like one level increases them by 4, or one can increase them by 3, but then you have to put item slots in there too, and sometimes they can take multiple spots, so then you have skills to put in too, and magic spells, those take up slots too, and it just, you have to constantly keep going back there and setting things up over and over again. It just is a massive nightmare because you have to change so much. You're spending so much time in menus. You may need to kind of grind to get certain abilities, and then you realize, oh wait, I don't have the right ability in the first place, so I have to go back and do that again. And then there's some of the bosses which are just massive, massive damage sponges. The less I say about that bloody vulture in Neverland, which they brought back in Kingdom Hearts, brought back in Kingdom Hearts 3 for some reason. I have no idea.
The Kingdom Hearts 3 one's good. I like.
Yeah, but I don't know why they'd remind me of those repressed memories of that point. I don't know why.
That's exactly why they're like, we fucked up. Let's see if we can leave it.
What was worse, the vulture or like the big that monster in Nightmare in Halloween Town where you had to attack its legs first?
That was annoying too, because again, you could get sucked up into that too.
The magic, did you have to attack it with magic then physical attacks, or physical attacks then magic?
You had to attack its like branches on the side before it could be
was
opened in
fucking
the center.
bullshit. It was, and the vulture was long and tedious. They were both long and tedious. See, I don't know which one was worse.
Which is why I think the end game is so good, because the bosses actually got good. I mean, the whole fight with Shion, like that 4-phase fight, is like masterwork practically. And then you have to actually recreate the fight in Kingdom Hearts 2 between Roxas and
that was epic.
Riku. No, yeah, that stuff's good. That's why I said the end game is a lot better, because
it was hype as fuck.
The bosses are better.
Sorry, Mikey. What?
No, go.
I was gonna say, do you know what was hype as fuck? When Roxas beat Syx.
Because we didn't see that again, because you barely fight
cool.
like people-sized enemies in that game, and what also didn't help is that half the bloody cast died in the first like hour, because it took place just before Chain of Memories. So all those characters that they introduced you to at the start, oh no, they're all dead now.
Yeah, unless they want to retcon it, it's like, oh, we have their data, so here you can hang out with their data. I don't fucking know, but the multiplayer was pretty cool. You actually had people to play with.
Oh, hold on.
But I think that's what the problem is too. They based it off a mission-based progression system because they tacked on multiplayer. And that was the wrong choice to make.
The mission-based progression system is because it was on a handheld. Okay. It's the same reason they made Odyssey the way they made Odyssey.
I got to the Vulture and I quit because it was so fucking annoying.
It was pretty bad.
I literally, that's where I stopped playing on 356 over 2. I was like, yep, nope, fuck this.
Get a joystick. Play it on a 3DS with a joystick.
It doesn't matter. I played it on a freaking. I think I emulated the thing with the DualShock 4. It doesn't freaking help because it's only 8 cardinal directions. You could use a freaking trackpad, like that Steam trackpad thing, and it will still only register 8 directions because that's all the D-pad could do.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt as much.
Well, I think that's also why they've been remastering their older titles, is because they're trying to fix their fuck ups.
Because even the story in the redone version of 358 over 2, the cutscene one, even the first half of that is slow because it's mostly just let us put text calls in between important scenes and they
That
cut out all
dragged
like the
on.
action scenes things there.
Yeah, the
Darkseid
text-
was killed in one
the
attack, for
text
example, by Shion at one point.
Oh my god! Like they didn't do any action scenes.
I'm
but
gonna
then
laugh.
they added an action scene as DLC, which was really good, by the way.
Do you
Do
know
you
how?
remember that?
Do you know how Kingdom Hearts is gonna end? Because I do. This is exactly what's gonna happen.
Oh,
It's gonna go
please tell
back
me.
to the island. Sora's gonna wake up as a little boy and be like, "That was all a dream."
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
I can tell you right now that's not what happens. What's actually going on in because
I'll
what
laugh.
they've mentioned
I'll
is
fucking laugh so goddamn hard if like, oh, Kingdom Hearts 4, end of the game. You wake up as a boy again, and you're like, yeah, you're gonna start all over.
because what they're doing right now is all the games we played for like the past 13, 14 years or what have you. Actually, it's been a lot more than that actually because it's gonna be 20 years of the series next year.
15
But,
years.
No,
Right?
it would be
No.
20. It was in 2002 it came out. So
Yeah, this
19
series
years.
is almost
God,
20 years
20
old.
goddamn years of waiting for a
all the
story
games-
to end.
All the games we've been playing are what was called the Xehanort Saga, meaning it's phase 1. So what they're introducing
What the
now
fuck? So we're gonna have
Yeah.
60 years of Kingdom Hearts? What
It's
is this,
gonna be,
Rick and
we're
Morty?
they're Marvel now, and they're preparing.
No,
for,
no,
they started
this
phase
is some
2.
like Rick and
Yeah.
Morty shit. Like 100
Great.
years of Rick and Morty, 100 years of Kingdom Hearts. Oh yeah, let's fucking convolute this shit. And then like the second part, hey, we're gonna retcon the whole first thing because we fucked it all up. So we're gonna reboot it again. We're gonna give you 40 games, and in those 40 games, you'll get 3 minutes of gameplay.
And Mikey,
sounds like the mobile game you just described. That I mean,
There
that
you
game
go.
took place like thousands of years in the past anyway. So
that one's about to come to a conclusion, Mikey. That should make you happy, right? Yeah.
This is
no,
part
no,
of why I quit.
trying
This is
to.
why
I
I
have a
won't
hard time trying to catch up with Union Cross myself. In all honesty,
Yeah.
I played
Um,
Union Cross because I liked it for a while, and then I got like partway through the story, and I was like, okay, I'm bored of this.
Yeah, the story is. I haven't been following. I just found out that like Unchained Key was
Excuse
about
me.
the foretellers, and then after that, the reason like when it changed into Union Cross, the story changed. Like they added these new characters, and they're actually in this data world, and they're trying to use these pods to escape. And these pods are how they make you time travel, and they cause you to lose your memories. That's how Ventus is in the present. That's how Marluxia and Larxene are in the present with and none of them remember Union Cross. It's because they went into this Arc machine from Kingdom Hearts 1. Do you remember the Arc machine in Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
1? Yeah,
you mean the one that they teased like in Melody of Memory as well with Kairi?
yes, with Kairi. Yeah. So yeah, they used that machine to escape, but it made them time travel and forget everything from Union Cross.
But I thought you could only time travel with just leaving your body behind, but only going with your heart. Because don't tell me they retcon that too from Dream Drop Distance. The moment
Yeah,
they
no,
time
it's all
travel-
they did.
retcon. They're just
There's
retconning.
there is another method of time travel, and it involves using this arc machine. Oh shit! Hey guys, I gotta take Taylor to work, so I think this would be a good spot to call the podcast.
All right, this has been
I had a fucking
fun.
blast.
We got a tangent out of Seamus.
Yeah,
Shut
a
up.
good one.
I almost
cannot
called him
believe-
Samus.
I cannot believe that you managed to get me talking about 358 and its failures for like 5 minutes. I was getting kind of
It was
livid.
good.
So you
was
managed to
good.
actually get a rant out of me. I'm impressed.
Seamus, why don't you tell us
Woo!
about your channel and your socials and stuff, so people can find you.
I won't give a 5-minute tangent for this in this case. Yeah, people call me Seamus, that's how it's pronounced. I go by TrueStorySeamus on a lot of different social platforms. Twitter and Discord's ones where I'm very active. I stream 3 times a week on Twitch, usually on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Sometimes that can be a bit flexible. Right now, I'm actually playing, funnily enough, Kingdom Hearts 3 at level 1 critical with just the Kingdom Key. We're at the secret boss, but after I'm done with that, I have let's say every 250 times I died in that run, I have to do a punishment of sorts. So after I'm done, so this means what I've had to do is I'm going to have to buy 2 like anime body pillow covers. I have to play Last of Us Part 2 and Nekopara to completion. I've had to gift subs out of like a collective, I think, almost if not over 20 subs over like the past 2 months. I've had to redo a fan fiction reading stream, and the most recent one, if I make 4,250 deaths, my community is going to pick topics and characters to do a commission artwork. So whatever gets chosen there, I'm gonna have to ask an artist I don't know to do the topic or whatever they told me, and I have to pay for the commission, and then we'll get the results from that point.
Fun. That
For sure.
sounds fucking fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. We'll link all of your stuff in the description too.
Yep. That'll be
I'm
up to
currently
Travis. Cat
yeah,
ass.
I'll do it.
We got the cat ass in the ground. I'm done. Make sure you buy Travis's book. Check out Seamus.
TrueStorySeamus on Twitch. I'm currently playing Resident Evil 8 over at Travte Plays on Twitch, so check that out, and check out the Wizard's Room, where he does techie stuff.
I'm like 2 weeks behind in content. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go start my live stream now. So fuck y'all. Bye.
Later.
Take care.
Thanks
so
again, Seamus.
Seamus.
Yes.
Do you see us?
I see. I don't see a lot, but I mean that's why I wear glasses. After all, I need them to see more, right?
Come on.